Hello kindergarten friends and family, welcome to day 2 of math. So today we are working on which one doesn't belong. So being able to compare and contrast shapes is a kindergarten goal that a lot of our kiddos have mastered so far. So this is kind of a fun activity to push them farther. So in the top box first, I'm going to fold my paper in half so it's easier to see. So we're just going to look at this top box first. So it says, look at the boxes. Each box has a reason why the shape does not belong with the other shapes. See if you can figure out why. So looking at the shapes first, I can tell that this one, the brownie, is something that the kid would say, well, your student would say, it obviously doesn't belong because it's not a circle, right? So let's go even deeper because there is a reason why each one wouldn't belong, okay? So because the pictures are dark, I did already give you what I believe the objects are. If you think there's a difference, please comment and let me know what you think. But I said this box right here has a ball. So I put the ball doesn't belong because. This box I said looks like a brownie. So I said the brownie doesn't belong because. This one I said looks like a cookie because of the sprinkles. So I said the cookie doesn't belong because. And then this one I was up in the air between a cake and a hockey puck. But I'm just going to say cake because it's a shorter word. So the cake doesn't belong because. So we're going to look at each one of these and fill out the chart with me as we're looking for what does not belong. So, starting with the ball and comparing it to the others, ask your child, why do you think the ball is different than the others? One thing that stood out to me is if you look at the brownie and the cake and the cookie, they all have rough surfaces, whereas the ball has smooth surfaces. We also could look at the shape. So we know a 3D circle is called a sphere. So this is technically classified as a sphere, whereas these are not. There's also many different answers. This is an open-ended thing. So feel free to write whatever your child sees as the difference. So I'm going to say the ball doesn't belong because it is a sphere. But again, there's many different interpretations to this math question, which is amazing. So your student might come up with a different answer than mine, which is totally fine, and just write it in the box. Next, we're going to look at the brownie. Why does the brownie not belong with these three shapes? I know that the students are probably looking right off the bat. It's a rectangle, right? Instead of the circles. If we're looking in a 3D personality, it's a rectangular prism. Please pardon the train that goes by my house. Another thing we could say is well, I guess we made these food. So this one we could say it wasn't food. So my biggest thing, we could say it has corners or edges, whereas the other ones don't. So I'm going to say the brownie doesn't belong because it has corners. Whereas our other three are circles and spheres and cylinders, so they wouldn't have corners. Okay, next we're going to look at the cookie. So how is the cookie different from these three? Again, we could look at it has sprinkles, it's lighter, it's a circle. Any of those would work. So I'm going to say it doesn't belong because it is a different color. Again, feel free to pause the video if I'm going fast. This is an open-ended thing, so I'm just showing you guys how to look at it and work through it with your child, but you guys might have completely different answers than me. So the last one we're going to look at is the cake. So the cake doesn't belong because, and I'm going to put it is a cylinder. which is one of our 3D shapes that we've been working on. So that is which does not belong. So on this side of the page, it says now it's your turn. Create a which one doesn't belong using numbers for your parents to play. Make sure that there's a reason each doesn't belong and why do the others. Okay? So this is going to be a little harder. If your child doesn't know their numbers, or if you think that would be too hard for them, have them find 4 objects in your house. So if I were to say my glue stick, sticky notes, a pencil, and my penguin stress ball. Okay, these are going to be my 4 objects, and we're going to talk about how they wouldn't belong to each other. So if you can't do it in numbers, that's okay. Feel free to adapt and have it be with things that are in your household. Have fun!